People who don't want to give up their half of their assets. Coming up.
Hi, I'm Michelle.
Hi, I'm Olivia.
And this is
Social Talk.
So we have a guest.
We have a guest today.
Someone who's given up half his assets.
We are today joined with Brian Boudram, who is going to enlighten us on some of the people that he has come across who actually just don't want to get involved in any relationships on any level because they're afraid to give up their half of their assets, they don't want to give up half of their assets, or they just want to die with all their assets.
Okay, so...
And as a disclaimer, I am sleeping with Olivia. Okay? So, just get that out of the way.
This is Olivia's husband.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, just to clarify, because
Okay,
it might
for
not
instance,
have been.
Michelle, why don't you want to give up your half your assets?
Okay, for me, I have worked a lifetime to get what I have.
Yeah.
And I would like somebody at least my level or higher. And as a female, I know it's double standards, but men usually, we expect them to have more.
Yeah.
So it's just that I get it for the men's side. I've worked hard. I've worked my entire life for what I have. But with that being said, love is something I want in my life, and I wouldn't not get in a relationship just because of that. I would take precautions. I do know finance fairly well. I know what needs to be done, prenups and agreements and that kind of thing. If it's a situation where you're much higher in life than somebody else, but you still love that person, still want to be in a relationship with that person.
But you've been in love before, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you realize that you'll be in love many times.
Of course.
You're not restricted to one love in your lifetime.
Yeah.
So, in essence, you meet someone who's amazing, who ticks all the boxes, but he's poor.
Right.
So you're
What do you do?
saying you're going to say, well,
I'm gonna say that, you know, in relationships, when you're in a relationship, everything is great.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful, and you never expect it to end. And then I've been on this earth for long enough to know that relationships end.
everything ends.
And not everything.
Everything ends. Everything in that here, even the
Well, because
the planet,
we're all going to
everything
die.
dies.
Okay.
Everything dies.
Okay,
right?
so
Yeah.
things
And
end.
the thing is, in a marriage, there's only two ways of getting out.
Yeah, death or divorce.
Exactly.
The two Ds.
Exactly. So you've learned about that.
You said that you actually didn't want to, be coupled with somebody who is earning potentially less than you, or is not at least on par with you, because the first thing that comes to mind is that person is only after you or wants your stability or whatever, so that they can continue and maintain their poise of relaxation in life, so that they can actually just feed off of you.
I get it. I'm not saying I don't get why people are cautious of getting into relationships for that reason. I don't think, when you look at it, life is about relationships, it's about love, it's about experiences. And you just can't do that by yourself. You can't have a fulfilled
Yes, you
life.
can.
You know what?
You can't make everything so black and
No.
white, and there's a lot of gray area in there. So at the end, do people who are venturing into these kind of relationships, like if you take a man, for instance, who says that, here are my assets, I've worked hard for this, and that I don't trust that this person is actually going to stick around, that they're actually not going to just get into a relationship with me, move in with me, once they've fulfilled the contract of that common law agreement, where now if they leave, it's 50% of my assets.
Right.
And so therefore, why would I subject myself to that when I can actually keep this person at a distance, and I can actually just have them whenever I need them, whenever I want them, and yet still my assets aren't exposed?
So I think the difference between men and women, the women who have money and the men that have money, is that the women are more willing to try a relationship. They're willing to see if it's somebody they can trust, that's not what they're just after. Where men, I think that it's just, they have money, and you know what, I don't trust anyone, and I'm not even willing to try a relationship. Would you agree with that?
No, I would totally
Okay.
disagree,
Okay.
disagree with that statement.
Okay.
Because men fall in love much faster than women. They also fall out of love much faster than women.
Yeah.
And so where the man is like, a successful man is more than likely to marry the waitress who brought him beer, than say a woman would marry someone who's beneath
Yes.
her status.
Yeah.
So women are actually much more calculating, whereas men will go with nice tits, nice ass, okay, yep, and from that he's going to form that relationship.
Yep.
And so.
But
women,
you have experiences of people that you have worked with who have articulated to you that, you know, they have no intentions of getting into a relationship because they've worked hard, they've done the overtime, they've, you know, and they've got their condo, their boat, their cottage, their whatever it is, and they don't want to share, and they're not going to.
But I think these are men who don't really want to share, but on the other side, they're not that attractive, and
Okay.
personality-wise, so they really can't get someone. And I feel
It's
a lot,
an excuse.
You think
a
it's an
lot of those
excuse?
guys would, you know what? I'll give up my shit for someone warm to stay with. Whereas
Okay.
with a woman, she's now saying, no, I've worked for this, I've earned this, and like what they're saying with you,
Yeah.
they're a lot more calculating, because even men, when we meet someone, we don't judge them as much as women judge,
Okay.
right? So with a woman now, she's sizing everything up, and so women are the ones who you'll find they're saying, no, I'm protecting my assets, I'm doing this.
So Olivia, do you think that he has a good? Does he sum up women well? Would you say that we're more calculating?
We definitely are. We have a lot more to invest when it comes. Women definitely have much more to invest than a man does. And so if we are talking about a woman who has to, you know, put her body through a pregnancy,
Right.
and you know, basically maybe even give up her career or like cut back on her career,
Give up her life.
you know, in essence, then yeah, a woman has a lot more to invest. So therefore, a man can go in and out of relationships very easily, fall in, fall out, fall in, fall out. Whereas a woman, it's a little bit more invested.
Right.
However, I must say though that, like you said, we do have a lot more women who are coming into the workplace or moving higher up in the ladder, and so we do have a lot more women who are in power. And those women of power are actually taking on that testosterone kind of level and that masculine role. And they have now taken on that role of they don't want to give up. And if anything, we have a lot more men now who are, maybe they can't bear children, obviously, but they are staying home, they are looking after the kids, and now they are giving up their careers.
It's
And
actually
that's- so it's
Yeah.
working in
It's
reverse right now.
because
Yeah.
right now, the modern world isn't built for men; it's built for women, and it's built for because women have the skill set to succeed in this
And
world.
it's getting progressively
Whereas men don't have that
more
skill
and
set.
more and
so,
more.
Exactly. So you're the ones
But
who will be looking
why?
after me.
What happened? Why was there this switch? It's really sad
Big-
that this is something that people think about.
One, it switched because of just a change in the modern world. Because now strength is no longer an asset. There's a machine to lift that.
Okay.
The only thing that a man's good for now is basically opening up the pickle jar. And if you don't eat pickles, you really don't need a man. So everything else.
I have this gadget that you actually can just use.
No, you can't do it. Your hands are too weak. That's why
And I
you
can
keep me
use
around.
and I can open up my own pickle jar. And I put that in the description down below so that you can get yourself one
reality is
too.
because I'm not home, you don't eat pickles.
Okay, we can see they're strong and good. Okay. So, I actually have a friend
Yeah.
that says that women have done this to society because we have, decided that we wanted all these things. We want to do, we want to work, we want to do this, we want to have our independence, and then the men say, okay, if you want the independence, take it.
No, that hasn't happened like that. It's the fact of the matter is, men haven't given you anything. Whatever you have, you fought for.
Okay.
So the thing is, anyone who has power would not willingly give it up. You have to take it up, and you've done it through suffragette. You've done it through marches. You've done it through basically being better than men.
Okay.
So it's you've earned that your place at the table. And if you look at life, in every country where life is good,
Right.
women, the more equal a woman is to a man, the better life is in that country. So every country where basically women don't have a voice, you're working on half your brain power. So you give the woman, so that country's working at 50%. You include women now. Women now, the country's now working at 100%. Everyone's life is better. And so, for instance, women have basically, men are saying, well, we've given you this. Hey, please take that. No, you feel you have earned that right.
Right.
You've earned that place.
Okay.
So
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
And then we can probably end on that note because we've won.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay, women!
You've won, but the sun will supernova in 5 billion years, so their victory is short-lived.
I really like having conversations with Brian, and I think we're going to have him back to talk about some more relationship type topics.
Yeah.
I loved it. If you loved it, give it a thumbs up.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. And consider subscribing, but also we want to hear from you and your comments and feedback on this topic. Anything that you have to add to this, we will greatly appreciate. And don't forget, consider subscribing to this channel because we are here every single week.